Brown v. Board, the battle for equal rights. What was Brown v. Board? Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas. This was the court case that desegregated public schools and began to equalize opportunities for both white and black Americans. In 1865, the Freedmen's Bureau was established by Congress. The Freedmen's Bureau's goal was to help freed men become self-sufficient. The Freedmen's Bureau ordered the opening of the first African-American schools in the U.S. In 1868, the 14th Amendment was passed. This granted equal rights to African Americans. In 1909, the NAACP was founded. Their mission was to eliminate lynching and to fight racial and social injustice, primarily through legal action. In 1935, the NAACP began challenging segregation in secondary and graduate schools. Charles Hamilton Houston and his student, Thurgood Marshall, who would eventually become the lead attorney in the case Brown v. Board. They developed their two-pronged approach to challenging school segregation. Their first point was that maintaining two schools whose facilities are exactly the same for whites and blacks would become far too expensive for the states. Second, the white judges who went to the best law schools could not truthfully say that African Americans received an equal education in the black schools. In February of 1951, the case Brown v. Board was filed in federal district court in Kansas. The Kansas Supreme Court assigned a three-judge panel who ruled that, quote, no willful, intentional, or substantial discrimination, unquote, existed in Topeka's schools, and the physical facilities in white and black schools were comparable. In the next year, the NAACP took 9 segregation cases to the Supreme Courts in 4 states and D.C. In 1952, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to hear the 5 separate Brown v. Board cases collectively. This was significant because the Supreme Court acknowledged that school segregation was a national issue, not just a Southern one. In December of 1952, the Supreme Court heard arguments for Brown v. Board. In June of 1953, the Supreme Court ordered a second round of hearings scheduled for October of that year. In April of 1955, a third round of hearings was presented to the Supreme Court, this time with regards to possible solutions. On May 31st, 1955, the Supreme Court ordered that desegregation occur with all deliberate speed. Due to the vagueness of all deliberate speed, many states stalled the integration of their schools. However, this ignited the flames and caused student protests that eventually led to the Civil Rights Movement. The first school to integrate was Norview High School in Norfolk, Virginia. The first 17 African American students to go to this school are called the Norfolk 17. This group of 17 students faced rampant racism in their school. Some found ways to deal with the harsh conditions, even made friends. Others were looking over their shoulders for 4 years. There is a wonderful podcast on iTunes about the Norfolk 17. I highly suggest it if you would like to learn more about their experience. Do I agree with the ruling? Do I think our schools should have remained segregated? No. I lived the first 10 years of my life in Memphis, Tennessee, and for those 10 years, I was the minority. I had more black friends than I had white ones. I was 10. I didn't care what color their skin was. So yes, I wholeheartedly agree with the Supreme Court's decision. The only problem is that it didn't happen sooner.